Something is collapsing, not suddenly. Not in a single dramatic moment that the cameras capture and the headlines announce, but gradually, persistently, in ways that more and more people are beginning to feel even when they cannot fully name what they are feeling. A sense that the structures that once felt solid are becoming less so. That the systems that once felt permanent are revealing their impermanence. That something that has organized human life for a very long time is losing the coherence that allowed it to function. The Galactic Federation has been watching this process. And what they want to transmit today is not a message of fear about what is falling. It is a message of clarity about what is rising in its place. Stay with this all the way to the end, because the picture the Galactic Federation paints of what comes after is something that most people, in the midst of the difficulty of the current moment, have not yet been given adequate language to imagine. In the teachings of Ashtar Commander and the broader transmissions of the Galactic Federation that have reached human consciousness across decades of channeled communication and spiritual inquiry, there is a concept that appears with particular frequency in the current period. They call it the Great Transition, not a revolution, not a collapse, not a catastrophe dressed up in spiritual language, but a genuine, fundamental, irreversible shift in the organizing principle of human civilization. A shift from a system organized around scarcity, competition, and the concentration of resources in the hands of the few, towards something that human beings have carried as a deep intuition for as long as they have been capable of imagining what a better world might look like. A system organized around genuine sufficiency, around the understanding that this planet, properly stewarded, produces more than enough for every being that lives upon it. Around cooperation as the natural expression of a consciousness that has developed sufficiently to recognize that the well-being of each is inseparable from the well-being of all. This is what the Galactic Federation describes when they speak about the new golden age. Not a utopia in which all difficulty has been eliminated. Not a world without challenge or complexity or the need for wisdom and discernment, but a world in which the fundamental orientation of human collective life has shifted, from the assumption of scarcity to the experience of genuine abundance, from competition as the default mode of human relationship to cooperation as its natural expression. The systems that are falling in this understanding are falling because they are incompatible with this shift, not because external forces are dismantling them, but because the consciousness that sustained them is changing, and systems that depend, for their continued operation, on a particular state of human consciousness cannot survive the transformation of that consciousness. This is what the Galactic Federation wants you to understand about the current moment of apparent instability and uncertainty. What looks like collapse from inside the old system looks very different from the perspective of those who can see what is being built in its place. The financial systems that are showing signs of stress. The political structures that are failing to hold the trust of the populations they were designed to serve. The cultural frameworks that are fracturing under the weight of information they were not built to process. The Galactic Federation sees all of this. And what they see is not a civilization in terminal decline. They see a civilization in the most difficult and most necessary phase of a genuine metamorphosis. The caterpillar, in the midst of its transformation, is neither the larva it was nor the butterfly it is becoming. It is something in between. Something that, if you did not know what a chrysalis was, would look like nothing so much as dissolution. Like a structure losing its coherence. Like something dying. But it is not dying. It is reorganizing. At the most fundamental level. In preparation for a form of existence that the caterpillar could not have achieved without passing through the dissolution. This, the Galactic Federation says, is what humanity is passing through. And the dissolution of the old systems, as disorienting and as difficult as it is to experience from inside, is the necessary precondition for the emergence of what has been building beneath the surface of human possibility for longer than recorded history. What does the new golden age actually look like? The Galactic Federation speaks about this with specificity that grounds the vision in something other than wishful thinking. They describe, first, a fundamental change in the relationship between human beings and resources. Not through any single political or economic reform, but through the gradual emergence of technologies and practices and collective understandings that make the old structures of artificial scarcity impossible to maintain. The energy technologies, the agricultural approaches, the organizational systems that allow large numbers of people to coordinate around shared purpose without the hierarchies of control that the old system required. These developments are not distant. Many of them are already present in nascent form, already being developed, tested, refined by people who do not yet know that what they are building is part of something far larger than the specific problem they are trying to solve. The Galactic Federation says, "The builders of the new golden age are already among you. Many of them do not know yet the full significance of what they are building. But the building is real, and it is already underway." They describe, second, a change in the quality of human relationship that makes the cooperative systems of the new golden age not just politically desirable, but psychologically natural. A shift in the baseline experience of being human from the defended isolation of fear-based consciousness to the genuine openness of a consciousness that has developed sufficiently to experience connection as its natural state rather than as a risk to be managed. This shift is already occurring in the rising numbers of people who describe a growing inability to maintain the comfortable distances of ordinary social interaction. The growing sensitivity that makes performance feel costly and genuine connection feel necessary. The growing clarity about what actually nourishes the soul and what merely occupies it. These are not random personal experiences. They are the interior signature of a collective shift in the quality of human consciousness. A shift that the new golden age requires, and that is, in 2026, advancing with a momentum that the Galactic Federation describes as the most significant development in human consciousness in the modern era. And they describe, third, a change in humanity's relationship with this planet. A restoration of the understanding present in most of humanity's indigenous traditions before it was displaced by the frameworks of industrial civilization, that the natural world is not a collection of resources to be extracted, but a living system of extraordinary intelligence and beauty, of which human beings are a part rather than the proprietors. This restoration is already beginning in the growing movements of ecological awareness, in the science that is increasingly confirming what indigenous wisdom always knew, in the personal experiences of millions of people who find, when they spend genuine time in natural settings with genuine attention, that what they encounter is not passive scenery, but something alive and communicating. The new golden age, in the Galactic Federation's understanding, is not a political project or an economic theory. It is the natural expression of a consciousness that has sufficiently developed, of a civilization that has moved through the long, often painful school of the old system and emerged with the understanding, hard-won and deeply rooted, of what actually sustains life and what merely extracts from it. What is your place in this? The Galactic Federation is always specific when it comes to this question, because the vision of a new golden age can easily become something that happens elsewhere and later and to other people. A comforting idea rather than a living orientation. They say, your place in the emergence of the new golden age is exactly where you are, in the specific relationships of your specific life, in the specific choices available to you in the specific circumstances of your actual existence. Every choice you make that reflects the values of the new golden age, every moment of genuine cooperation where competition was the easier option, every act of real care where indifference was more convenient, every honest word where comfortable pretending was available. Each of these is the new golden age, arriving in the specific corner of reality that only you occupy. You are not waiting for it. You are building it. With every choice that reflects what you actually know about how human beings are capable of treating each other and this planet when they are operating from their highest rather than their lowest frequency. The old system is falling, not because anyone is destroying it, because a consciousness that once sustained it is evolving beyond the need for it. Because the humans who inhabit this planet are, gradually and genuinely, becoming people for whom the old system's operating assumptions no longer feel true. And what is rising in its place is not being built in any single place, or by any single movement, or through any single political process. It is being built everywhere, by everyone who is genuinely trying to live in a way that reflects what they actually know about what is real and what matters. That includes you, exactly as you are, in exactly the circumstances you are navigating. The new golden age does not need you to be more than you are. It needs you to be fully what you are. The specific quality of consciousness you have developed, expressed in the specific life you are actually living, is your contribution, and it is enough. Take what resonates, leave what does not, and trust yourself completely to know the difference. This content is offered for spiritual reflection, symbolic interpretation, and personal insight only. It is not presented as scientific fact, medical advice, financial advice, or a prediction of real-world events. The narration in this video is generated using artificial intelligence voice technology. Please use your own discernment and personal judgment when engaging with this material.